4 years ago, I thought it'd be so easy to just email businesses and get them to ask for my services. Surely every local business needed to be optimized on Google Maps, and Google My Business was a great thing for local SEO. So surely everyone would want my service. How wrong I was. So back in 2019, I decided on 2 strategies that I was going to try to see if I could get some business on optimizing people's Google Maps. And I'm going to show you 2 how you can get those strategies from me and where you can then get business for your Google business profile. There's too many businesses in one sentence there. But first, some background.
To understand what you need to do, you need to understand what path I went through first. This is going to save you time and also show you what really works.
Now, back in 2019, there was a real change going on in the web design world that I was in. After 20 years of designing bespoke templates for CMS's content management systems, Wix came along, Shopify came along, Squarespace came along. They started dominating the area where my customers were. My new customers weren't wanting to spend a lot of money, but they could see Wix or Shopify being a cheaper option. And so I had a bit of a mini crisis because with no new customers coming in, I only had my customers that I was currently looking after. But as you all know, sometimes a crisis forces a change.
So I was forced into change. And so in the end, I started marketing myself. And so that forced me to make a YouTube channel and to start blogging and SEO. But interestingly, my original videos were more about design and logo design at that. Nothing about Google My Business or Google Business Profile. So in the end, the niche gradually came through. And eventually I started to do business videos on Google Business Profile because people were wanting that from me. And so I gradually became an authority, even though that wasn't what I originally aimed at.
So take a look at my original videos and you'll see that most of them weren't about Google Business Profile.
But all this led me to my number 1 mistake. Mistake number 1.
Let me explain by asking you a quick question. If you had a random person phone up and say he's a doctor, and then ask if you needed your appendix out or needed a cast and a broken leg, it's going to be hard to trust him, and who's he to say he's a doctor? It's all the wrong way round.
And yet it's that very same doctor that you see the following week when you go and visit your doctors, and he's in your surgery.
So what was the difference? Well, credibility, trust, authority, and perception were the difference. So what mistake did I make? I just tried cold emails to local businesses. I mean, I receive them all the time even now. I get people asking me, do I want SEO done on my website? But I was doing it to them, and I was expecting to get replies and answers. But it was all a bit too random. I was just taking random emails. In effect, I was spamming people, really. From their point of view, I had no credibility or authority. Then I thought I'd aim at local businesses that I use and ones that I shop with. So I then sent them emails too. And there's a fair bit of time trying to find the email of a certain business. But again, it's not an ideal perception from their point of view, receiving a local person just emailing them out the blue. And then it went on, and it started feeling desperate. 300 odd emails are sent out, and I got no replies whatsoever. And that comes down to there's no real trust. They don't know who I am, do they? But I had learned one thing, that you need credibility, you need trust, you need authority to get people to do business with you. And I hadn't really considered that part of it. And so now we come on to mistake number 2. And mistake number 2 was where I started to put more focus into the same mistake. So I started thinking, do they have a website? What's their reviews? I was a bit more tactical as to how I went about it. I thought if they have no website or ranking, then they would get even more value from my efforts, but it still didn't appeal to them. I started thinking, well, what businesses have budget and money? So I contacted doctors and dentists. I tried constructors, solicitors, estate agents, all with budget for websites, yet they still weren't interested in my service. I thought this has to work, and yet I still had a grand total of 0 sales. Now, earlier in the video, I mentioned you can make a business from Google My Business. So how can you make money from this? Well, there's 2 options I'm going to give you now that you can try and work through and then make your profit from. And they do spring from that lesson we learned a minute ago. It all comes from credibility, trust, authority, and also your customer's perception of who you are. So the first strategy is to build yourself up as an expert. Now that can take a while because again, it's about perception. But there is a thing you can do straight away that's going to help you build that expertise. And that is, you need some examples. You need to gain credibility by having examples. So have some profiles, have some optimization already done. In my case, I had a PDF of some design work and I had a PDF of a few things I'd done for SEO. But what you need to do is build together a small portfolio of work that you can then send or show people. But you might say, well, I've got no customers. How could I possibly do that? Well, this is the next part of it that comes in. Why not go to some business owners that you know, go to some local shops and offer your services for free. They may pay you afterwards if it proves to be worthy, if it brings in customers, they're likely to give you something back. But what they are giving you is they're giving you an opportunity to build up your portfolio. You might have local businesses, you might have people in the family that can just enable you to cut your teeth on some business in effect. And what you're getting is something far more valuable because it's giving you credibility. It's giving you the ability to show that you can be trusted and you've gained experience. And so with a few of those under your belt, and particularly they're ranking well, you can now show on a tablet, or you can show on your phone to someone who's half interested, well, look, this is the results, this is what I can do. And once they see that you're driving online sales through your strategies and through your optimization, then they're suddenly going to be asking, suddenly now the authority's there, suddenly their perception is changing. One or two more, and you've got a genuine portfolio building up. But of course, what you really want to do is be before people themselves so that they can see the results. So you need to go where people go. Are there trade shows that they could attend? Co-working spaces where you could perhaps hire a desk for a week? Is there industry conferences they attend? Is there a local chamber of commerce? Are there local events? Just a bit of imagination and you can soon be before people that are going to be after those services. Of course, I have several tools that can help you and some videos that will give you step-by-step guides as to how you can optimize your business. I'll put some links down below in the description for those ones if you wanted to get started on that straight away. So here's the second option of something you can do, and this is probably where you're really going to earn the money. It's about offering various services that are really needed. So for example, Google Street View is really useful. If you've got a business, you can have a 360-degree video view of your business. And this gives people confidence, and at the same time, it in effect pays for itself. I spoke to someone who gave that service, so it's called GSV, Google Street View, and his name was Bill. And Bill was showing me on his website and telling me the costs he does and how it works. So for example, I asked him how long he'd been doing it for, and he said for 3 years. And he charges $495 to go into a standard sized business and just street view their business out, so their offices and surrounding areas. But I was interested in how much is the outlay for the equipment. And he says it starts from $300 up to about $1,100 for that type of equipment. So that might be something you might want to invest in, bringing a service to people that have a Google business product. But there are so many other services as well. So not just Bill's service of Google Street View, but maybe considering services where you help build branding. So if you're a designer, you can build brand consistency across Google and across other areas, other platforms, social media platforms. So there's at least 10 areas that come to mind straight away when I made a list of some services you could do that will make money on Google. So here's a list of those 10. You could check someone's nap consistency. So you may need to watch one of my videos that will show you how to do that. You could offer to build their website within Google Sites, or even just show them how to turn on and then optimize the Google free site that comes with Google Business Profile. Again, if you don't know what that is, my videos show you how to do that. You can use tools to stop duplicated content showing in your social media areas and checking for it to see where it is occurring. You can use tools for citation building. Again, I've got links to that. I'll put one down in the description for you. You could use free tools for keyword research. Again, there's several tools that I recommend in my videos. You could just do a brand audit to see where the weaknesses are and where that can improve. You could do page speed optimization. You could do mobile optimization and checking it works with mobiles. You could just offer regular posting or taking photographs and uploading photographs to bring in traffic on your Google Business Profile. On my free 30-day course that I've been offering for over a year now, there you can learn all those skills. You can also just go through those 30 days and use that as a service to charge for. You know, each one of those I've just mentioned, you could charge between $200 and $500 for just as one service. If you specialize in it, you'll get plenty of customers as you build up that portfolio. and as you bring value to your customers. So my videos will give you everything you need, and they'll show you how to do it, and they'll show you the tools that I use. Ultimately, my videos give you long-term way of ranking. And that's because even though it's slower, it's the safer way. It doesn't go too close to the edge. So there are others that will show you quicker ways to make money out of Google Business Profile. Ultimately, they're going to be cutting down on anything that doesn't sit well with their policies. But what I do know does work is credibility, trust, authority, and your customer's perception of your business. And if you accept that, then you're ready for lesson number 1. And lesson number 1 is right here. So head over to the 30-day free course, and hopefully you'll be in a similar business to me, helping other customers grow their business on Google. I'll see you on that video.